Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. Today is September 22, 2015. 11:24 p.m. in Birmingham. I'm going to just title it Pope Prophecies and leave it at that until I finish this segment, which may be two more after this. But I told you that I'd start out and I would tell you about dreams and visions that people are having. And I did this probably 3 years ago, maybe three and a half, and I still have it entered into my dream section. That these are people I'm really close to that gave me these visions and dreams. And how close? Well, one of them's my daughter. She's a medic. She's an advanced life support medic. She saw this numerous times. She saw herself, and she described one time as being like, she said, "Dad, I can't explain to you except it was a beach." And she said, maybe in the Panama City area, because she's so familiar with between there and Destin and in Fort Lauderdale. But she remembers black uniforms with a single red patch on their sleeve. You will see that on some of the Asian uniforms. And she said, and to me, they looked like they were Asian. Now, keep in mind, this is 3 years ago, maybe three and a half. I've done a blog. It's way on back there, Dreams and Visions. And but what made me come up and say this today is when I was scanning just a little while ago to put this together, because I had something I left out. I'm seeing people in some of their visions. They're seeing Asians patrolling our beaches. What my daughter saw was that she was about a quarter mile away, and between her and the water was a single vehicle, and it would be an ambulance of some type, but it was a little different. She would sit at a certain place, was not allowed to go to it until she was told. She would go, and she'd put her thumb or something up somewhere, and then it would unlock. She would get in, drive to a location they told her, doors open, and they toss in bodies, and she would drive away and park it back where she picked it up from. She saw that several times. Sounds like a big cleanup to me of people. But she is the first time I heard it, but I have heard it so many times after that, all in a similar fashion. That is not the only dream she had. She's had many others, but I won't go there because I'm going to stick to my guns where we are today. And so I jumped too far. I apologize. On Pope Prophecies, I hit page 3. I didn't want to go to page 3. Hang in here just a moment. You know what? I guess I've already done 2 of them. Yep, I did. That's why I got page 3 coming up. Bear with me. Here we go. So we're going to enter the ancient prophecies that were written and coded before men. And the men, John the Apostle, Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Ezekiel. And Isaiah talks about the war, and it's a specific war in Israel, one that they will be in. And then John the Apostle had dreams of visions in the final war, what we call the end time, the tribulation period. And Ezekiel had a specific battle, which was in Ezekiel 38:39. So these four men had these dreams and visions, and they were all put down, and they're all there for you to read. And they were chosen to give a very precise and terrifying warning of things to come in the end times. These prophecies will fulfill the act of God, and the world as we know it will perish one day in flames. We were about to enter into, what we are about to enter is going to be deeply disturbing because it will link current events to ancient biblical prophecies step by step. They'll be like putting on a glove. And you will soon see the chilling evidence of the words of our Lord coming soon to pass. And you'll see at that time they are true. Some will say they were true. This is a there's no turning back. When you reach a certain point, you can't stop and hit the reset button. When you hit a certain point, there's no turning back. You've passed a point of no return, but you'll know that, and you haven't got there yet. Because when you do enter it, it will be, it'll be horrible. It'll be horrible, and you will bow to the world leader, whoever he may be. You will take his mark, whatever that be, in the right hand or the forehead. So these things will become a reality. And again, I'm not going to go further into this, and the reason is we are still here. That's a good reason to stop. We're here today. I'm doing a blog, and you're hearing me. That means we both have hope. If you're reading something that you're trying to listen to over shortwave radio, then you've already passed the point of no return as far as staying here and seeing these events fulfilled before your very eyes, and again, scaring the hell out of you at every turn. Christians will go underground, and those who survive will reject the mark of the beast. They'll survive to that point, and when they reject, then they'll be killed, hopefully instantly. Again, there's no turning back, and you'll see the biblical evidence that this is the time in which we just entered has become a reality. Again, the forthcoming prophecies written by the four men I mentioned a few minutes ago means we're still safe. If we're talking about them, we're still okay. You still have time to assess your heart and where you stand with God. Jesus came and died for a reason. And you and I live in the very day and the time that we will bring John 3:16. That's when John 3:16 is at its most important point, is when you need it the most, and when you can actually say it, even if it's your very last words. If you can say that, that's the most important thing you can say in your life, but you got to have it in your heart or it's meaningless. But again, Jesus came and died for a reason, and today you and I are about to see why. And there's a little bit more here I want to tell you about. But 1,982 years ago, Jesus died on the cross. That was 33 AD. Now, the day after, or maybe a few days after, the church was born. That's you and I. That's the church. And I'm not going to go that direction anymore because I got something I got to tell you that's very important. It's Acts 8, verse 18. I'm going to tell you about that, and we're still in the Pope prophecies. Jody will expose.